Hello everybody, welcome back to SnowRunner for my hard mode playthrough. Episode 42, Michigan, closing in on the end of the Michigan map now. We're doing logging, so this will be the second logging episode, and I'm hoping to get Michigan 100% complete with probably 3 episodes including this one to finish the map and move on to Alaska. So we're coming into the logging camp in Black River at the moment. Our fleet star's just coming into view at the top of the screen with the crane, log loading crane added to it. And what we're going to do in this episode, to start with at least, is the logs to the workers contract, which basically requires 2 batches of long logs to be delivered to Smithfield Dam. So that means jumping into, is that a bit far away for long logs? That might be a bit far away. We'll give it a go. Onto the platform. So 1, 2, 3. We're going to deliver twice. So crane mode. I'm going to do these one at a time because that is a bit of a stretch. So I'm going to try and pick them up one at a time. It's not in the middle though, is it? It's not far off. A bit more maybe. There we go. That's about middle. There we go. Learning to use this crane, and it's pretty awkward, but it's not too bad. It's not as bad as I expected it to be. In the last episode, whilst editing the last episode, I finally worked out how to add a bit of music. I found some nice guitar music that is reasonably in keeping with the map to add over the top of when I time-lapse stuff like this, and I was quite pleased with how that came out. So hopefully it makes, because I don't like cutting out the crane stuff, because sometimes the crane stuff is kind of the interesting part because it's certainly the hard part, so therefore it makes interesting viewing, I think. So yeah, I tend to time-lapse the crane part, and then I've now found out I found a piece of music that I like, and then found out in DaVinci Resolve how to add that over the top of a time lapse. So hopefully that's well received. You guys enjoy that as well, rather than it just being the game audio sped up a little bit. A bit more interesting, I think, to have some actual music playing. As I've said before, I'd love to use the original soundtrack for that type of thing, but I can't see that it's ever been published as a separate works by the developers, and I'm not sure about copying it myself out of the game, what the copyright implications of that might be. So the piece of guitar music that I found is YouTube audio library, copyright free. I don't want to unwittingly get myself in trouble doing something just because I don't understand the rules. Alright, that's that. Engine off. Change track. Pack the cargo. And as I said last time I was talking about what we're going to do, we're basically going to come up to here and have a go at going across this road as the route over to Smithfield Dam, because it's much quicker than going around and going through town. And I think it should be fine. A little bit of a question mark in my mind about the Pacific carrying this cargo over that muddy, swampy, broken down road, but we'll get to that in a few minutes. It's nice to be starting an episode with a bit of sunlight, and I'd like to try and get over the road with at least this run with a bit of daylight on, because I am conscious that quite a lot of last episode was dark. It's a difficult thing for me to do anything about with hard mode, removing the time adjustment options. And it's funny, when you're playing and it's night time, it's completely fine, it's easy to see what's going on. But when you're trying to render that up as a YouTube video or watch it on YouTube, maybe on your TV or a side monitor, the dark becomes really apparent. I'm just going to stick this into low. See if we can crawl a gear out of here. So we got to deliver 2 loads of long logs into Smithfield Dam as part of this contract. There's another load for another contract when we get there. This particular contract, we need to deliver 1 load all the way around to the drilling site, which I would use the same route that I used for the construction rig trailer, which is up around the logging camp. And then the other load goes into the quarry, which is a little bit more daunting, but we'll see. Right, okay. On the road again. Oh, look at that. Wow, that's a fair bit of damage. I don't think I did any... Yeah, nothing's gone red, but I did a bit of damage to my suspension. Just clipped the barrier. I thought I just clipped it, but obviously I clipped it badly. Right, so I've never tried doing this with this particular truck and load combination, so let's hope this works. Let's get it into low. Beautiful sunset. Yeah, it's certainly quicker than going around the road and through town. There we go. Back in auto. Right, so I think we'll do the quarry first. I think it's get the one that I've got the most concern about done first, because it gives me the most time. I think the biggest risk is if you do tip, apart from the fact this is a heavy truck to get pulled back onto its wheels, if you do tip, if you drop the logs, then you need the crane to come and reload them. Or delete them, drive back and try again. Reload and try again. That's lovely lighting. I like that a lot. Alright. Let's just check my fuel. Fuel is not too bad. I don't know whether... I've got a bit of fuel in the yard. I think I've probably got enough to get in and out of the quarry, as long as I don't have any mishaps. But that's a challenge, not having mishaps. I'm not even looking at alternate routes. I know this map well enough to know that there may be a straighter line on the map, but for this vehicle, this load, we're going to go around the road, down past the farm, over the dam and into the quarry. And of course we're going to arrive at the quarry just as it gets dark. A little bit of trepidation about the quarry, but I'm just going to take the outer kind of slow spiralling loop and hope that it works out okay. So I'm thinking I will probably grab the Taiga from Tamir, Russian Federation map, before Alaska. And the simple reason is, I think it's going to be fairly easy to get it if I put a service add-on onto the Western Star, White Western Star, and drive it in. It's going to cost me, I think, 3,500 is the. I'll have to double check the deployment fee, but I think 3,500. Fairly easy to get the Taiga, and then deploy the Taiga back and the White Western Star. And if I'm right about the value, about the cost of deployment, then you're talking between, say, 10 and 15,000 deployment costs. And if that Taiga was in the truck store for 15,000, it'd be a no-brainer. You would just buy it for that price. So I think I will, but what I won't have for it, looking at the upgrades on it, is the raised suspension. So it'll be limited use to me anyway. But I think just for the principle of having it, I think I might get that because it's a cheap thing to get. I just like knocking those things over now that I know about that. So yeah, I'll probably have that truck to start. I don't know that I'm going to rush out and buy anything bigger than that for now, because I want to see which trucks that you get in Alaska and see how useful they are before just getting them and dismissing them. And then, as was pointed out in the comments, there may be specific heavy cargo tasks where you want something like the Pacific, but maybe something a bit more. Right, that's a slightly dodgy corner. Don't want to drop this load, that's the main thing. So we're going to take the anti-clockwise spiral down into the bottom. That looks like a horrible left-hand slope, but I've been over it so many times that I think it should be fine. A slightly worrying moment now when you start seeing a trailer slip to the left. Full dart just as I get here. This is another fairly aggressive slope to the left. Fingers crossed. P16, you beauty. So far. Don't count your chickens. But so far, P16, you beauty. There we are. First load safely delivered. So now we got to get the same. We've got to retrace our steps back into Black River, pick up the same cargo, and take it to the drilling site. So turn it round. Hard to do that in a pretty way in such a tight space with that ugly trailer. Camera behaves quite funny because the terrain being so close. And this is the sort of terrain that the Pacific doesn't do so well on, but it's empty, so it should be fine for this. It's just probably caught on a rock somewhere. What on earth is that caught on? I'm not... Should I? No. Nope. Just think like an owner-operator. Would I risk taking my truck up something that tipped me the last time I did it? Just drive around. Get the right road. This track. It is really satisfying when a delivery goes well. The last episode, at the end of it, I had a big smile on my face because we basically shifted 9 loads of timber and basically flawless. I don't think there was anything that I would say went wrong. So yeah, it is satisfying when it works. Cool. Right. So that's the dangerous bit done. I am gonna call into the warehouse just after this river crossing. I don't think there's much fuel left in this trailer, but I'm gonna call in and take what there is, or top up if I can. But I'm pretty sure this is down to dribbles now. And I may end up buying fuel for one of the fuel carriers so that I've got a more convenient location to refill as I'm in and out doing logging. Oh, I forgot I did this. Okay, that's not so bad. So, engine off. So yeah, down to 91 litres. So this is a fuel carrier that I brought back from Island Lake. At the end, I think it was either part of doing the contests or before, and I'm not sure if I did that on cam. So this mysterious fuel carrier that's appeared is the one that was at the west end of Island Lake, and it's actually the carrier that I used to rescue the twin steer. So yeah, that's given that because I was getting so low on this map that I didn't know what to do. So I figured if anything, I could use this fuel, and if I need more on Island Lake, I'll fill that one up on this map and take it back. But Island Lake has got more fuel on it than any other map, so I just redistributed it on one of the trips when I was down that end of the map. Right, so now next stop, back to the logging camp in Black River, and I will see you guys there. Right, here we are pulling back into the Black River logging camp. Perfectly uneventful drive into the sunrise. It's quite pleasant. Sun coming up behind us. Let's loop around the outside so that I'm facing the right way when I'm finished loading. Try and get it a little bit tighter this time, because I don't see any reason not to. It coped fine last time, but why not? Make it a little bit easier. That'll do us. Engine off. Into the Fleet Star. Right then. Here we are, back on Smithville Dam in the sun. Nice sunny day. I'll pose for a screenshot. Lovely. So I've cut back here because the bit that I will have cut out there is the repetition of what we did in the last run, but now we're leaving the highway. We're leaving the road such as it is and going off through the farm to the drilling site. So there should be a little bit of fuel left in this. I don't know how much is left in this carrier. So we'll stop and have a look and probably take whatever it's got. So we're just under half tank in the Pacific, and that has got enough to fill us up, but it's basically empty. It's got 18 litres left in this fuel carrier. So let's hope we will be able to get in and out on that full tank in the Pacific, but we're now getting to the point, like I know we have to, I think we have to come in for the Timber Arms Reach contract. I know there's a delivery of long logs to this map, and I think it's to the log camp up ahead. I'll confirm that in a little bit, but low gear. What am I stuck on? Nothing, just a bit of torque needed to get me moving. That's a big ugly rock in the road, isn't it? Let's see if we can get to the left of it. There's not much here that's big enough to pull against. Yeah, so fuel-wise, the next trip in here, that tank is going to be empty. So we need to think about maybe taking it and getting some fuel and bringing some back, maybe. Because we're not done by a long stretch. We've got quite a bit more to do on this side of the map. There's lots of medium logs to move around. Alright, let's see if we can tolerate a bit of automatic to get us rolling, and then see if it'll handle staying in high for a bit. Nope, didn't think so. Leave it in auto. I do have to do some fuel logistics before I can think about coming back in here again. Just checking out I was on the right bit of road there. Should be okay to build up a bit of momentum coming down this hill. Okay, closing in on the drilling site. Not sure why they need these long logs, but I'm sure they have reasons. I'm sure it's not just because Deb looked at the map and thought, yeah, it'd be awkward to take that cargo there, let's make that a destination. Surely not. So sunset again. So you look at these logging contracts, such long, slow deliveries that really there is no way I could do them real time without time lapses and cuts. They're fun, they're interesting, they're different. But for the length of episode recorded, they're easily the longest duration recordings that I've made so far. Logs to the workers complete. So that is the second logging contract finished. But I don't really want to end the episode there. What I would rather do is do the final long log job that requires collection from Black River, so that then I can move the Fleet Star ready for the next episode to where it's needed to do medium logs somewhere else. Let's go. Alright, here we are. Back at the Black River logging camp for what will be the last load from here. So we're going to pick up some long logs. They have to be delivered to Forrester's house on the far western side of Smithfield Dam. But that is the last set of logs that we load from this map. So we get this lot loaded up, get it delivered. That'll be this episode wrapped. And then before the next episode, I'll be relocating the Fleet Star to Smithfield Dam logging camp, because we will have some medium log shenanigans to do. So this is where I turn off. So head right, not up that false trail, but hard right this way. And get a bit of aid, of a bit of slingshot effect off. That's what I was hoping for anyway. I know where I want the winch to go. I'm going to have to do it manually. Yeah, it won't quite reach anyway. Let's jump in the cab and have a look at the cab view. Can't see enough in the cab view. Can't see much of anything, can we? Right, if memory serves from this trail, that's the big uphill climb part, and now it's the how to do a controlled descent with a negative camber part. And try and get a little bit of speed on the flat where I can. And do the whole trip in crawler gear would be pretty dull. Slow enough as it is. I'm going to straight line this corner because I just don't like those stones for this truck. Right. Now I'm back into crawler gear. So we didn't get much out of auto there, but we got a little bit of a. So this is dodgy. Jackknife risk, and I want to try and keep left so that I don't get stuck on that tree, and then there'll be a certain point where I just have to gun it and go. And that point is there. Okay, not too bad. Not too bad. So far, so good. A little bit of tension coming down the hill there, but I think we're pretty safe. Right, Forester. You live in a forest completely surrounded by big tall trees, but I brought you some logs anyway. Thank you for your customs, sir. Engine off. And deliver. So that was the Timber at the Reach, the first task, so the Norton House one. So next, so basically, long log wise, if my calculations are correct, the only thing I've got left now, the long logs, is these two into the Island Lake sawmill. I think I've done every other long log task, and those two into Island Lake I will get from, I don't fancy taking them, well, I'm definitely not taking them from Black River, so the only other place to get them is Drummond Island, I believe, because I can only get medium logs on this map. So I won't do that one yet, into Drummond Island and Island Lake. The next task and the next episode will be the medium logs for Forester's house and Bill's house. And that is 2 lots up to Bill's house. Not sure what that road's like, but 2 lots delivered to Bill's house from the logging station here. So it's short distance, but 2 lots quite heavy. And then 1 lot delivered to Forester's house. Now that might mean, although I bought the medium trailer, that I do the Bill's house with 1 and 2 trips, because it's a short distance and I don't know whether it's worth the pain of trying to take a trailer for that short distance through these gnarly twisty inclines. So I might end up doing that as basically 3 trips and leave the trailer out on the road by the farm until we go down to Island Lake to do more logging. So that's all for next episode. Fairly good productive episode. We got logs to the workers completed, and we have also finished entirely with Black River map. Now there's no reason to go back to that map at all. So off camera I will move the Fleet Star, White Western Star over to the logging station here. I'll put this Pacific back at the logging station, or back on the main road, ready to go down to Drummond Island, which is its next job. I'll get all of that staged off camera, ready for the next episode to start. And hopefully we're on track to get this all done in another 2 episodes after this one. And then after that we'll be off to Alaska, which is quite exciting for me. I'm really looking forward to that. So I hope you've enjoyed the episode. I hope you're enjoying the series. It's really nice to see people responding well to the content, to the way we're doing it, etc. It's really pleasing for me to see. It's probably the only, it's the only reason that I carry on recording it. At least I'd be carrying on with hard mode, but in terms of recording it, it's the feedback that makes it worthwhile for me. So thank you very much for that. I'm going to leave this episode here. I hope to see you in the next one. Thank you very much, and goodbye.